Hey guys, today I'll be speed building a modern beach Sims 4 home. This was built in Brindleton Bay on a 40 by 40 residential lot. You can get this with Sims 4 Cats and Dogs expansion pack. Showcasing a few screenshots that I took at the end. Really cool kind of coastal feeling interior, and then a pretty cool overlooking exterior. Kind of meant for sort of a beachfront overlooking property, even though the beach isn't fully functional in this world specifically. So I knew I wanted to do sort of these tiers, a little bit of a modern take on a classic sort of beach home you might see in North Carolina, Florida, Alabama, that sort of thing. Here I'm just going through, starting with my building blocks, kind of figuring out what the exterior will look like, and kind of how I want the inside to feel as I add in some of these windows. Try to stay pretty consistent with the windows and doors I use. A lot of times the windows don't always come in the same height, so kind of just stuck with these guys here. Building out the roof, this will change as I go through and kind of modify the home. I went with this really clean white and black color palette for the exterior, mixing with horizontal and vertical wood slats for the outside. Then just kind of finishing it off with the roof coloring, some light treatments, the sort of patio leading up to the front entrance. Kind of played around with some different colors here, so that was fun. Then just going in, the bottom is meant to kind of look like a garage, although I don't make it functional in this home particularly. So I don't really do anything with that bottom floor and really just keep the living quarters in the second and third floors of this home. I create sort of that boardwalk you see over there to the right, kind of to give it that beachy feel. It's not fully functional again, but just to kind of make it look like it would go out to maybe a beach or a waterfront or overlook, something like that. Then playing around with what the front entrance will look like. So this, I just create a staircase with sort of an opening to the second level, or the third level in this case. Kind of keeping this clean, white, black, and then adding in some blues, some greens, and then some sort of neutral tans and creams and things like that, just to kind of keep it in the beachy feel arena. Then I'm playing around with sort of what that outlook on the backside will look like. Again, with the intention for it to kind of overlook water. If you go on the world map, you can sort of see that there's water that sits behind this property, even though the Sims can't really use it. Then going around and kind of playing around with some new furniture. I downloaded recently some new custom content that I was excited to mess around with, kind of see how it would fit into this build. So you'll see pretty consistent, neutral colors, wood tones, and then go in heavy, especially in this front area with decor. That was a lot of fun. I did find these cool shelves. This part I sped up quite a bit because it took me a while to figure out all the pieces that I wanted to place in the shelves, but keeping it really white, clean, really pretty, and playing around again with some new custom content I found. Then going into this front sitting room, yeah, pretty much just a sitting room, and playing around with new decor, new seating, which I really like and really fits the vibe of kind of what the design of this home is intended to be. So this was a super fun part. I mess around here with what goes behind this couch for a little bit, and then finally figure out what I wanted to do. Not much explaining here, sorry guys. Just adding in pieces that I feel like fit the area. I like to try to fill the space as much as possible and really try to think through how a sim would use this and how it really can be functional while aesthetically pleasing. I like to add kind of in spaces that I don't know what to do with. These console tables, a lot of times I'll accent it with a mirror or a picture above it, and then kind of fill in sort of the decor pieces on top. Here you can see I'm grabbing a bunch of pieces that I think I might want to use later that are just a little bit hard to scroll through and find. So I'm just keeping these pieces sort of in the back of my head as I go through and design the rest of the home. This room right here is intended to be sort of an office study area. I really like keeping the desk centered, thinking it kind of an executive office. And then obviously when the Sims are in it, anyone uses anything, so it'll kind of become a catch-all, but kind of like to be a little bit imaginative, even if it's beyond the Sims functionality. So here, just lightening up the space, building it out, kind of playing around as I'm envisioning what this next space will be. I'm thinking this is going to be a kitchen area, and then this master suite off the front entrance. This I had new custom content for some kitchen items, so playing around with this new countertop that I love, and adding in some color, so that blue tone, a built-in oven, and then just kind of filling in the space with other, kitchen items that I know the Sims will use, so it's kind of functional and looks nice as well. I always like big islands, kind of like to make it how I would think it should be lived in, or how I would live in it, so a lot of times I'm building big kitchens with big islands. Here I wanted an overlook off the sink. I love that as well. And thinking just really through this, where's the main focal point going to be? We want lots of windows to shed out to the nature around this home, and then out to sort of the theme of this house, which is, the water overlook. And here building a dining space, again with some new custom content. I love the placemats. These were new as well. And kind of having this go off the kitchen and then making and figuring out how to make a little bench area, and then just deciding it to be kind of a free-floating bench here in the end. I like these little dividers. Sometimes I don't know how to incorporate them in the space, but it actually does a nice job. It's sort of a natural divider while still having an open space to kind of here section off the dining room from the living room. I play around here for a little bit where I want the fireplace. Typically I do a fireplace with a TV above. Was trying to play around with those boards, didn't quite work out how I wanted, so I ended up just going with a fireplace on the other corner of where the TV is. Love that console under the TV. Kind of has those wood blocks underneath, which I think is super cool and pretty realistic. And then just kind of finishing off with some furniture pieces, decor, trying to keep it still warm, homey, while keeping it, bright, still a little bit more modern. And here, just a little side bathroom. Keep these pretty simple. I didn't go too heavy on the decor because these spaces where they're right in the middle of the home are super hard to build and place anything on the walls, so I kept that pretty simple. And then start on the master suite here and kind of build out what I think that should look like. Again, playing around with some new custom content, so this piece takes me a little bit as I'm kind of learning as I go, but I ended up really liking how this turned out. Super spacious, Again, I try to keep this pretty neutral to match the rest of the home. Go in and even add this little, that little like wall corner right there. It's kind of wasted space, but I really wanted to fit that fireplace, as you saw before, in there perfectly. Then I go in, I think about two of the functionalities. I always want to include a dresser if I can't include a walk-in closet. I typically do a walk-in closet, but that works as well. And then just going in, I really like the idea of having sort of a livable space within the master suite, just based on my own preference. So here's adding a little couch with a side table, just to warm up the space. I always go in too with a large area rug to kind of fill the space. I go in with like that nice blue, and keep it pretty on theme with the rest of the home. And then I go around here to mess with this little like on cove, I don't know what you call it, off the kitchen. So I just do that really quickly to make stairs down to the basement. That again is not livable, but just for my own imagination, I put a staircase there. And then go in and finish up this master bedroom. I go and pull from that pile of decor I made in the beginning, and with some cool, just little additives to make this space feel really lifelike. Go in with details, shampoo bottles, body wash bottles, and some towels. Sorry, this is speeding up quite a bit, trying to keep up here. Going and laying out this top level floor with 3 bedrooms. 2 of them will share a Jack and Jill bath, and then one will have its own bathroom. Usually this takes quite a bit of time, so I like to keep this simple, kind of go with 1 or 2 color schemes per room to differentiate them while still keeping the integrity of sort of the design of the house or throughout the rest of the house. So this first room I keep really neutral, sort of boho, lots of natural wood tones, a nice little seating area, and then typically I like to create a desk area, get a dresser in there as well, and I might have not in this one, but I kind of keep, the same few items in each room to make sure that it's livable for a sim. This one I use a lot of greenery in, imagining this person has a green thumb maybe, enjoys gardening, so I'm keeping this kind of like blue, green, neutral tones, again a little bit of boho, and then just going in and kind of, keeping the same color scheme and adding in pieces here and there. Again, I create sort of a office space, a dresser and a bed in that room, and then imagining this as the Jack and Jill shared bathroom. I go in and create this space. Again, neutrals, greenery, and then this I imagine is a boys' room, so the other 2 I was kind of imagining as girls' rooms, and then this one I keep a little bit darker, a little bit edgier, just how I imagine this specific boys' room to look like. This room's a little bit on the smaller side, so I don't do anything too crazy with the space. Keep it pretty simple, dresser, desk, bed, before going in and finishing off the bathroom here, which again is consistent, using some dark tones, not making it too modern still, but just envisioning that space as an add-on from the bedroom. Then going in here, making this little nook for the upstairs, and then a chess table here for the Sims specifically, and some enlarged photos. Then I go in and kind of finish off this back area, adding some columns in here to give it that sort of vaulted or higher look. I think that makes it a little bit more beachy, or at least how I would imagine it to be, and then go in on these sort of balconies or lookout areas and make the space a little bit more